Hey Jack, the toy sale. Chapter 1. This is Jack. Today Jack is in a busy mood. He is making a shop. Jack is going to sell some of his old toys in his shop. A busy mood. Has a lot to do. Old toys to sell, paper and pencils for signs. He wants to make enough money for a footy card folder. Jack sorts through his toy box. He finds lots of toys he had forgotten about. He starts to sort them into piles. Soon Jack has 3 piles of toys. 1 pile to sell, 1 pile to keep, and 1 little pile of toys he's not so sure about. Jack looks at his pile for a long time. There are some good toys in there. Slowly he sorts through the pile, putting some in the pile to sell and some in the pile to keep. Soon there is only 1 toy left. It's a robot dog. Jack only got the dog last Christmas. It used to bark and do flips, but it stopped working. Jack holds the robot dog. He is not sure what to do with it. At last he puts the dog on the pile to sell. It is really not very fun now that it doesn't work. Jack sets up a table in the front of his garage. He puts all the toys he is selling out on the table. Jack writes a sign like this: "Toys for sale." Then he begins writing price tags to put on the toys. Just then Billy wanders over from next door. She looks at the toys on the table. "Do you want to buy anything?" asks Jack. Billy shrugs. "Maybe." Then she spots Jack's robot dog. "Wow, are you selling that?" she says. She sounds surprised. "It doesn't work anymore," Jack says. Billy lifts up the dog. "Maybe it needs new batteries." "I tried that," Jack says. "How much?" Billy says. Jack thinks he hasn't decided yet. "Well, it's probably the best toy here," he says, "so it cost $10. Billy looks disappointed. "I don't have that much money," she says sadly. "But Rebecca might. She's coming over this afternoon." "Cool," says Jack. "Bring her to see my shop." Jack finishes writing all the price tags. Then he sits behind the table to wait for the customers. But nobody comes. Jack's dog Scraps comes over with a ball in his mouth. "Not now, Scraps," says Jack. "I'm busy." Jack begins to feel bored. He yawns. "Hurry up, Billy." He thinks, "I need some customers." Chapter 2. Finally, Jack sees a car pull up outside Billy's house. Rebecca steps out of the car. Billy rushes out to meet her. "Hi, Rebecca," Jack calls. "Hey, Jack." Rebecca waves. "What are you doing?" "Running a toy shop," says Jack. "Come and look." Billy and Rebecca run over. "Wow, that's a cool robot dog," Rebecca says. "How much is it?" $10, Jack says. Rebecca frowns. "That's a lot of money, Jack," she says. Jack shrugs. "It's a good toy. Maybe there's something else here that you would like to buy," he said. Rebecca picks up some of the other toys. Jack knows that nothing is as good as the robot dog. "Come on, Jack," Billy says. "Rebecca is a friend. You should give her a good price." "I can give you 2 of these Lego men for half price," Jack suggested. But Rebecca shakes her head. "I have lots of Lego already." She pulls out her purse and counts out her money. "I only have $7.50. She says, "Will you give me the robot dog for that much?" Says Jack. Billy glares at Jack. "It doesn't even work, Jack," she reminds him. "Well, all right," Jack says slowly. "I guess so." He takes the money and hands Rebecca the robot dog. "Yay, it's so cute," Rebecca says. "Come on, Billy, let's go and play with it at your house." The 2 girls run off with the robot dog. Jack watches them go. He looks down at the money. He knows he should feel happy. It's his first and only sale. Now he only needs $3 more to have enough for his footy card holder. But for some reason Jack feels strange. He is not really sure he wanted to sell the robot dog. Chapter 3. Jack sits at his shop all afternoon. Scrap lies under the table with the ball next to him. Scraps looks sad. Jack would you like to go and play with him, but he needs to stay and look after his shop. Two kids from across the road come and visit the shop. One buys a Lego man for 50 cents. The other pays $1 for Jack's old Star Wars cup. They look happy with their new things. Jack waits and waits, but no more customers come. He begins to get bored again. So he writes another sign like this: "Back in 15 minutes." Jack can hear Billy and Rebecca playing in Billy's backyard. He wanders out into his backyard to see if he can find out what they are up to. They are laughing and squealing, but there is another sound too, a metallic barking sound. It sounds just like a robot dog. Jack peeks through the hole in the fence. Billy spots him. "Look, Jack," she shouts. "We got it working. You just put the batteries in the wrong way. Isn't it cute?" Rebecca laughs. "Look, it jumps up and down just like a real puppy." Billy and Rebecca are having lots of fun with the robot dog. Suddenly Jack wishes he hadn't sold the robot dog after all. "I didn't know it still worked," he said crossly. "I wouldn't have sold it if I knew that." Billy shrugs. "It's Rebecca's now," she says. "That's not fair," Jack shouts. "It's worth much more than $7.50. The girls glare back. "It is too fair," says Rebecca. Jack feels his head fizzing with anger. "I should never have started that stupid shop," he thinks. Then he runs up to his bedroom and crawls under his bed. This is a quiet place he likes to hide when things feel too hard. Jack tries to think of a way to get the robot dog back. "I could take the robot dog back when they are not looking," he thinks. No, that would be stealing. Maybe I could swap it for another toy, he wonders. No, there's no other toys I want to give away. I could give Rebecca back her money, he thinks, but then I won't have enough money to buy the folder. Just then, Jack feels a warm, furry body squeeze in next to him. He feels a soft, wet tongue on his cheek. He giggles and gives his dog Scraps a big cuddle. He feels his anger melt away. Jack realises that he doesn't really want the robot dog back. He never really played with it much anyway. Jack has a real dog, and that's 100 times better than a robot one. "Come on, Scraps," says Jack. "Let's go and play ball."